Greetings, good morning, and hello. Hey everybody. So, hopefully y'all are having a good day. Let's see if this gets started. Yes, we are starting. Yes. Yay, starting. Okay, so let's get this right down to it, shall we? Let's have a chat about demons. What are demons? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they good for you? Are they bad for you? Are you going to condemn your soul to hell? Probably not. So, the demonic aspect of a thing is its emotional state, is its raw, unfettered emotion. It's the state of being where, in Kabbalistic terms, the klipoth is where the divine did not divide itself from matter, from the things that it created. So you have all of the spheres in their rawest state where it is taken to extremes. So if you have, say, for example, an overabundance of a thing, you have a demonic state because it is unregulated. Hey, Nix. Welcome. So, we have demons. All right? We have critters. We have the stuff coming up from the other side, as it were. Now, let's make this more fun, shall we? And get right to it. Conjuring them is where it's at. Why? Why would we do that? Why would we bring an entity, energy, and other thing where we don't necessarily have a place for it? Well, for me, I used the demonic orders in order to be able to find a new path of life that was outside of, say, for example, the serial killer that I was shacking up with at the time, right? Yay for mob hitmen being very scary people. So, outside of that, trying to get away from him, I needed to be scarier than he was. So I started my interactions with the demons. That's how it began with him. So, I don't ask them for shit. They kept me alive. So teaching y'all helps fulfill that obligation to make it so that those who need them can find them, that those who can use them in the right ways can be uplifted by them, and then in turn uplift them and their energies and provide it validation, because again, the divine is not separate from it. They are not beholden to anything because they have the divine within themselves just like the humans do, right? So we have to think about this as a progression of interaction. It's a unification of them and us and the tangible and the intangible, all thrown into one. So let's get right to it, right? Everything is ordered up in the old books the same way they did governmental systems. So the marquises are the lunar aspect of a thing. So you would conjure them on a Monday. The presidents are mercurial, so you would conjure them on a Wednesday. The dukes are Venetian, so those are Friday spirits. The kings are solar, so those you would do on a Sunday. The earls and counts are Martian, so you would do those on Tuesday. The princes and prelates are Jupiter, so those are on a Thursday. And the knights belong to Saturn, okay, so you would do those on a Saturday. So when you're making your conjurations, you conjure them on those days. Now, when you get into the ingredients, which I put over, where did I put those ingredient lists? Oh, for Pete's sake. The ingredient list. Alright, so, what are their herbs? What are their metals? What are the stones that you would conjure them into, right? So if you're going to be conjuring things from the moon, okay, that is going to be silver and your crystals. Oh, that's fantastic. Mercury, you would actually use liquid mercury in the little glass vials. You can get those from United Nuclear if you're in the United States. Do not do anything illegal with it, but that's where you can get it. Also, I think Amazon sells it, funny enough. Lodestones or electoria would be the stones for those spirits. Venus, you would use copper as the metal. Amethyst, pearl, sapphire, or carbuncle for the actual stone that you would impregnate with the spirit. The sun, you would use gold. You could use sapphire, diamonds, lodestones, or jacinth. For Mars, you would use iron. Emerald and jasper would be its metal or its stones. Jupiter, you use tin, carnelian, or emerald. Saturn, you would use lead, turquoise, all the black stones. So when you're doing that, you have, again, an understanding that when you're pulling these energies into an object, right, you're giving it a body, you're giving it a spirit, you're giving it the means to become tangible enough in order to be able to work with it. So we need to look at the times, because it's not just about what day of the week, but also what time in the celestial heavens do we have to physically line our ritual circle up so we are pulling directly from that energy? So we have to go through sidereal astrology. So Aries, in this case, if it's going to be that time of year when you're conjuring that energy, those periods of the years shift. So I've talked about this in other videos before, where it depends on which part of the year you're in, depends on what astrological power is associated with either the time of day or that time of month. So that way you get everything in right alignment, so you're basically making a giant grid where you're pulling these energies in specifically. So for the sun and the constellation, I did this chart to last up until roughly the 72 years past 2002. So it would be 2074 this chart would be good for, essentially. But Aries would actually be from 415 to 515. And then it would go, Taurus is 516 to 65, Gemini is 616 to 715, Cancer is 716 to 815, Leo is 816 to 915, Virgo is 916 to 1015, Libra is 1016 to 1115, Scorpius is 1116 to 1215. Thuban is technically in there, and that's the 13 one for Ophiuchus. That's 1130 to 1217. Sagittarius is going to be 1217 or 1216, no, 1217 to 1414. So that goes up into January. Capricorn is going to be 115 to 214. So yay for Valentine's Day being the end of Capricorn. Aquarius is 215 to 314, and Pisces is 315 to 414. So it runs through depending on what day it is that you are aligning to it. So when you have your spirits, you've got them done, and you've got the stone in front of you, or you've, say for example, you have the stone and you've got the metal and the herbs of that planet that are responsible for it, there's conjurations that you can use that call on elemental states. So instead of calling on by the God of heaven, by the Father Almighty, or whatever it is, you can reword it and do something like, I conjure thee, O form of this instrument, by the virtue of heaven and all the stars, that by that of the elements, by that of the stones, and by those of the herbs, in like manner by the virtue of snowstorms, thunder, and the winds, that you shall receive all power unto the performance of these things. So you are consecrating it by the elements themselves, so the elements of earth, fire, and the stars, and the conditions of the elemental states in flux, so that way it has the means and the capacity to handle those intangible spirits. And the ability to conjure up whatever one you're working on, depending on what type of thing you are attempting to conjure, be it a duke, be it a prince, be it a principality, whatever, they all operate under the same thing. And so is true when you're working with the spirits of the angels that I've got listed in the group here. So that way when you're calling on the different firmaments, you're also working with the different states of what is Venus, what is Mars, what is Jupiter, and you break it down through the planetary associations, so that way everything fits nice and neatly into the 7 days of the week. So that way as you make the 7 days of the week, you can make your conjurations, and you can pull through the hours of the day and the astrological times, whichever influence is going to serve you best for that purpose. So that's all for me and the demon chant ramblings today. Be safe, don't be evil, and I'll chat with y'all later.